Hi everyone, hope everyone is okay. This is Team Unstoppable New Evolution. Today I just want to give everyone a feeling of a so-called Falcon Training 2.0. Alright, so this is a tool for each and everyone who is doing Lavita Living Product business to understand the core of the business, to be able to stand on your own, understanding what is it that you have to do to succeed in this business. So I'm going to try by all means to make sure that I highlight it, because we are of a view that we wanted to meet or to have seminars in different places to unpack this content. But because of the fact that we are all over, we can't reach everyone at the same time. Hence, I'm trying by all means to make this audio so that it can reach each and everyone on the digital platforms. You are going to understand that Lavita Living Product has got some levels, all right? The first level is a distributor level. A distributor is somebody who has said yes to a business opportunity. We have got the idea of that person. We filled the DAF, which is a distributor application form. We send it to the company and the person has started to purchase the products. That is the first level of this business. Lavita Living Products needs you to purchase the product that is going to accumulate 200 points for you to qualify as an assistant supervisor, which is the first level as an independent distributor of Lavita Living Product. Which means if ever you purchase the product that is going to accumulate 200 points at a retail price, then you qualify as an assistant supervisor. The next level is supervisor level. The third level is assistant manager level. And the last level is manager level. So I will be taking you through to all these levels. The first training is for assistant supervisor. There is a second one for the supervisors. And there is a third one for assistant managers. And there is a fourth one for managers. It's going to be one audio, which is going to be plus minus. It's a 3-hour training, but I'm going to try by all means to squeeze it to at least 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Falcon Training 2.0, learning, doing, teaching the Lavita products way. First item on the list is the assistant supervisor. What is it that you have to understand as an assistant supervisor? What is it that is required out of you? How to run this show as an assistant supervisor? What is the core things that you have to understand? Number one, your goal as an assistant supervisor, learning about the company while learning about yourself and what you can achieve. As an assistant supervisor, you are new in this business. You just purchased your combo bag and got your 200 points and became an assistant supervisor. Your goal is learning about the company. While doing that, you are also learning about yourself, because you must understand, you must know your own wiring. That is why I always say, if ever you venture into this business, rewire your mind and what you can achieve. So the point number one on this list of points, register your online distributor profile at www.lavitalivingproduct.co.za. So that is the key item. Everyone who is joining the business, once you have qualified, once you have got the message that says you've been approved, your ATP has been approved, you have to register online. Some of the people have been launching some complaint that they are trying to log in, they are trying to buy things online, but the company says they are not registered. It's because once you have registered, we have filled a distributor application form for you, we've sent it to the company, but now the next step that you have to do, You have to get your email address and register online. Register on the company's profile so that you can have your own portal. That's point number 1. Number 2, Lavita Living product is now available direct anytime via phone, tablet, or computer. I think all of us, we understand that computers are just going to vanish in no time. Laptops, nobody is carrying a laptop nowadays. Everybody is using a smartphone. So that mini computer in your pocket, that is the biggest ever tool that you have to use now to communicate with the world. So Lavita Living product encourages everyone to be available in this social media platform. Use the tools that are at your disposal. That's point number 2. Number 3, make your first order even better by ordering online. So once you have registered on this system, you are going to have your own portal there. Once you've got your own portal, then you are going to log in and then start making orders online. It's so easy. There is a video on YouTube. There is a video on the company's page. On my page as well, there is a video that shows everybody how to order online. Obviously, you have to communicate with your manager simply because a manager is deployed by the company to assist you in understanding the issue of the points, because the most important item here is the points. Point number 4, make the commitment to work hard and succeed. There is nothing that can be achieved in the comfort zone. Everybody, you have to make a commitment, because I always say we are all craving for motivation. We all want to be motivated, and I always emphasize that no one is always motivated. On top of a so-called motivation, we need commitment. Commitment will never be there if ever you don't understand what you are doing. Commitment will never be there if ever you are packed with negativity. So for you to be committed in something that you are doing, you are going to show hunger. That is why I always emphasize that we need 3 people. We need people that are coachable, people that are hungry, and people that are willing. This Falcon 2.0 is here to eradicate all the mistakes, all the misunderstanding, all the ups and downs, the conflicts that we have. Once we follow this, everybody is going to win. Point number 5, your life is a blank page. Forget about the past. Write your new story. I even, during this training, I asked a question. It was not a question, by the way. We've been doing the business. We've been teaching people the way that we were taught. Sometimes there is a statement on the Old Falcon. There's a statement that says a plan is a tool for goal achieving. But the mistakes that we've been making is to not to change the plan and hoping for the things to change. That is why now the company has revised the old version of the Falcon to be in line with the current trends, to be in line with the current changes. So this statement says your life is a blank page now. Forget about what happened. I don't say forget about the death, forget about everything else, but start a new version of doing this business. Start the new version of doing things. Understand that this is your own show. If it is your own show, simply because you do have your own license, you have to do things on your own. Your sponsor, your coach, your leader is just there to give you a hand, to make you understand some of the things that you don't understand. And the coach or a leader that is leading you will never know what you don't know if ever you don't ask. And there is no such thing called a stupid questions. All questions are relevant. The only problem that we are facing is that we think we know, whereas we don't know. So that's the only thing. That is why this guy, when he was giving us this lesson, he said, take any learning experience like an empty glass. Be empty. Look and learn from what others are doing to create success. Most of the time, we are the creatures of habits, and the more time you spend with a particular type of person, you become an average of that group. So whatever you speak, whatever your surroundings are, that is why sometimes there is a so-called an environment. Some people are ending up doing something that they are not willing to do simply because they are driven by the environment. So I always say, never allow the place that you are staying in to detect who you are. Never allow the problems that are coming your way to redirect or rechannel the way that you planned your things. So that is key. That is very important. So look and learn from others. So try by all means to learn from mostly people that are successful. Find out the systems that are in place, the tactical discipline that they are putting in, their daily routine. What are they doing? How are they planning things? How are they planning their days? Because what we do per day detects what we want to achieve. So that is very important. Participate in every Lavita Living Product event, training, social media, etc. So this is very important. In every Lavita Living Product event, we have got training in Pretoria from February 2022, which was the beginning of this year. We've been in Pretoria since then up until it's July now, it's August now. We've been attending the training simply because there is a big shift economically, globally. That is why now the company is trying by all means to equip each and every one of us with the necessary and the relevant tools to fight while these changes are taking place. When you join a company, the most important thing that you have to look at when we are joining the company is the company itself versus the changes. Is the company in line with the current changes? That is key. Be constructive in your attitude, be positive in your actions, and be realistic in your aim. This is also very important. So I always say this business is about leadership. So that thing is the deepest ever. That is why we are going to have some trainings here online on these social media platforms that are talking about leadership. How to become a leader. You never... Some of the leaders are born, some of the leaders are trained. But leadership is a very difficult concept. I always say the tallest tree catches the strongest wind, simply because once you are there in the top, some of the people will be pulling you down. Some of the circumstances will be pulling you down. Some of the people that you're trying to help will be pulling you down. And you must be ready for all those things. You will never be ready for those things if ever you are not willing to learn. Because learning makes you to see more. Learning makes you to have a tactical approach. You understand the living beings. You understand that people are not the same. You understand the background, the basics, the ethnic groups, everything about the living individuals. So that is very important to understand. So be constructive in your attitude. Your attitude must always be 100%. Be positive in your action. Your actions must always be positive, and be realistic in your aim. That's that. Then learn how to be a good salesperson. Knowledge builds confidence. How can you become a salesperson if ever you don't understand your product, if ever you haven't used your product, if ever you don't understand sales? Because most of the time we go out into presentation, instead of presenting what we have, we sell. So there is a difference, and this is a big item on its own, simply because it deals with a customer, which is a very great asset in item in what we are doing. Because without a customer, we don't exist. Whoever is in business, once there is no customer, you do not exist. So that is key. We have to learn to be good salesperson. Knowledge builds confidence. Once we understand what to do, once we understand who do we sell to, because we mustn't twist people's arms by giving them what they want, what they don't want. Based on your presentation, if you are not salesy in your presentation, you are going to get customers that needs things, and then you are just going to see that gap and then feed or supply that gap, because this sales thing is only about the supply and the demand. So there is already a demand in the market because people are sick, people are ugly, people have got all these sort of problems. We are here to solve those problems. Then know the product you are selling by using them. Make sure that all the product, we have to use all the product. This was mostly emphasized. The mistake that we've been doing, we've been so lenient. When you start buying, when you start joining this business, you buy that pack, that big combination pack, that combo pack is 4,628 Rand currently. You buy that pack, and that stock inside is not for you to sell. That stock inside is for you to use to generate your own filling. On my presentation, there is that statement that says make a list, and then out of that list, arrange that list in a preference order where you choose people that likes money, people that are self-motivated, people that wants to use the product. And then once you have listed all those people, you have to give the product to those that are willing to have the product, that want to buy and use. And then you have to also give these people that wants to join. They are because these people are not, there are two. In fact, there are people that want to join now and do the business, and there are people that want to use the product first before they join. So you must understand that you are going to have those two distinct groups. So it's up to you to understand your customers and to understand what is it that they need. You know what you need. Mostly, you need people to join your business. But everyone is important. Even that person that is buying one green tea is of great importance. You mustn't twist their arm to force them to join. Keep them as customers and focus on recruiting and getting more leads about your product. Learn company policies and procedures. It is very important. This is one of the policies. In the newsletter that comes out on monthly basis, we do have the company policies and procedures, and this Falcon training is also helping us to understand about the procedures. What is it that is offered by the company? There are always messages from our Facebook at official LVP, which is the company's page. I always take that to my page, which is Team Unstoppable New Evolution. You can find that content there. You can also find that content in my YouTube channel. You can also find that in the groups. Mostly I'm not using groups now. I always use the status to relay the message, because sometimes the groups are chaotic. That's very important. Participate in training events and use the experience to teach others. This business is a business that is built by a so-called duplication. Everything that you do must duplicate. How is duplication generated? You only generate duplication by making sure that whatever you learn, you teach. If ever you learn it for yourself and you keep it to yourself, you'll never grow. You'll always be running up and down like we've been doing. This is so painful. During this training, I posed a question. I asked a simple question. I've been in Mpumalanga, or I've been in KZN. I've been working there. Now I'm in maybe PE, or I'm in Cape Town or in Joburg. But once I moved from KZN stopped working, and then all of a sudden there's nothing happening when I'm away. And the answer to the question was that we are not training people. We are spoon feeding them and we are babysitting them. That hit me to the core, simply because mostly managers, once people get to managers, they don't understand how did they get there. When they are supposed now to work, when they are supposed now to start earning big money because they are managers, then some of them, they quit because they lack the understanding. That is why these trainings are categorized as per level, so that you can understand as an AS what is it that you have to do. Because once you move to supervisory level without an understanding of what is happening in this level of assistant supervisor, definitely you will crash. So that is very important. So I will say the way we've been doing things, the way we've been relaying messages, the way we've been training, it was not training, it was spoon feeding. Hence, people are just quitting, people are just dying. Obviously, we are wired. The statement that I said at the beginning when I said rewire your mind, it's a very great statement, simply because it is supported by this sentence number 4 that says, make commitment. You have to commit yourself. You have to be in. And there is a so-called Team Unstoppable 365, which goes hand in hand with all this statement. Team Unstoppable 365 says that if you join this business today, give yourself a year to build this business. If you join now and then 3 weeks down the line you quit, it's because it's your wiring. There's a wiring in your brain. When always you see obstacles, the best way for you is to run to safety. And how do you run to safety? You quit the business. Yes, there will be problems, there will be issues, but whatever circumstance that you are facing, it doesn't mean that you have to quit the business. Whatever problems that you are facing in life, it doesn't mean that die now. If ever you lose one family member, maybe in an accident or in a natural death, it doesn't mean that you have to die as well. Life goes on. So we have to get rid of that attitude. Obviously, we cannot force each and every one. That is why we're giving this training free of charge. It's free from the company, and I'm relaying to each and everyone for free, so that those that are willing to do the business can carry on doing the business regardless of the circumstances. And those that were just here for fun, this piece of information will prove that they were here for fun, because you can never cheat on yourself. You can cheat on everybody else, but you can never cheat on this business, and you can never cheat on yourself. You can never lie for La Vita, and you can never lie for yourself. That is key. That is very important. Take the responsibility for learning how to build your network. Key. That is very, very important. It's your responsibility. You build your business. We help you. The business is yours. We help you build your business. That is very important. So when we are doing these trainings live, it's going to be 4 or 5 hours maybe that are going to be broken into pieces. Maybe we're going to take 1 hour at a time, and the second hour and the third hour. Like when they are having this training in Pretoria, is 3 hours. So again, on us, we are going to make sure that we take maybe 4 to 5 hours, simply because there are people that don't understand English. We have to unpack the whole content in Zulu, in vernacular, so that they can understand, in Xhosa, so that everybody can understand it. But now, this training says, take the responsibility for learning how to build your network. What is a network? Remember, this business is a simple and straightforward business. We are selling the product, but we are using the channel which is called, where we build a network of distributors doing the same thing, doing what we are doing. There is a company, La Vita Living Product, and there is us as distributors, as independent distributors. Wherever you are a manager, assistant supervisor, golden, pearl, diamond, all of us, we are independent distributors of La Vita Living Product. So there's a company on top. In the middle, there is us. How do we operate? We take the product from the company, we pass it to the distributors, or not to the distributors, to our customers. So we are just in the middle. We are communicating the company with the customers. So this is what we do. Make notes, diary or notebook, of new things that you've learned. Each and every time you learn, make sure that you have notes. You take notes of everything that you learn, because if ever you don't take notes, it's going to be a problem. Make sure that you have got notes that are written down, so that you can refer always. You can go back and check your progress, whether you're still online or you are just out of the railway line. Do not let negativity or failure discourage you. These are learning experiences. Make sure that you take each and every problem, each and every difficulty you encounter on the way as a learning curve. No one will. I'm super strong. I'm even worse now. After getting this Falcon Training 2.0, I'm worse. The best way to treat the noise is to keep quiet and make sure that you stay focused on what you are willing to achieve. That's the only way. So make sure that whatever that is around you, some of the people are in the negative environment, maybe your husband, your spouse, whoever, your family, the church people, the people in your community are against what you are doing. Use those as the stone to build your empire. Make sure that negativity does not deter you from what you are willing to do. One of the things that you have to understand, we win in corners. That's where we win. When you are facing difficulties, when everything is hard, when you don't see even a light at the end of a tunnel, that's the closest you are to your destiny. And whatever that accumulates as problems in your way, maybe self-created problems or problems that are created by the environment or whatever, those problems are a sign that when you start reaping the rewards, they will be more than or 10 times more than the problems that you had. So that is very important. Negativity or failure mustn't discourage you. Those are the learning experiences, and that proves that you are doing something. The last point for the assistant supervisors, use technology, social media, website, the distributor portal to your advantage. These are the tools given to us by the company. These are the tools given to us by the latest way of doing things. Remember that the social media platform were just a fad that was perceived as something that is going to pass in no time. But now all the companies, all the businesses are built on it. If ever you look around, go to Facebook, go to TikTok, go to all the social media platforms, there are people that are now having close to 50, 60,000 followers in those social media platforms. And there are something in life now simply because they are using the channels. So this guy, when he emphasized this point, he said his father gave us combo bag. Everybody was carrying a combo bag, running around with the product. The product was scratching each other. When you go and display them, they are dirty, they are scratched, and nobody wants to buy them. This guy, our new managing director, Mr. Stephen Chang, who took over from his father, came with a catalog. You take a catalog, you walk around with the catalog, you show the people the products, and then the people start placing orders. Now he have changed based on the fact that things are changing. The catalog is in your phone now. It's digital. You sit in your house, you take the pics, you send it via WhatsApp, you send it via Instagram, you send it using all the social media platform to your customers, to everybody that knows you. Everybody that knows you is in your WhatsApp, but everybody that doesn't know you is on Facebook. That is why Facebook is so important. I think there are few people that has got websites now simply because the website is almost outdated, and Facebook is a website for each and every one now. And it's so easy. You go there, you open your page, and you start posting your product. But make sure that you brand yourself. Branding yourself is very critical. How do you brand yourself? Make sure that you are consistent in what you're doing. If you post, if ever you look in some of the people that are now categorized as celebrities, they are consistent in whatever they are doing. They are always doing the same thing time and again. So that is what we have to do as well. We have to be consistent. Consistency is very important when we are running this business, because if ever you're not consistent, you do it and the other day you don't do it, you will never get that effective engagement with your customers. You will never get that effective engagement with the prospects that you find online. You will be doing poorly in a so-called leads generation, which is very, very critical, because our job here is to make people understand what we are doing. We teach and let people understand what we are doing. That's the core of what we're doing. Now, let us move on now to the supervisors. This training now is for the supervisors. What is the goal? What is it that the supervisor has to achieve? What is the core? The supervisor now is doing, selling, understanding the company procedure and product while creating downlines. As a supervisor, you are selling, and you are making sure that you understand all the company procedures. while creating downlines. As a supervisor now, you are creating downlines. How do you create your downlines? That is leadership now. You are in a leadership mode. So that is why you are taken to Pretoria to attend a special training where you get your certificate, because this is more our core rank. I will say this is a core rank simply because all our recognition is that in 3 months' time or in 2 months' time, you must be a supervisor. If ever you have got your team, you have got your assistant supervisor, you give them the instruction that the company is giving you 3 months to change a level and become a supervisor. So that is simple. So point number 1, learn to use modern tools like phone, computers, and internet to build your business. Supervisor, that is key. It's the simplest way. Imagine if ever you have to put petrol in your car, driving all those kilometers, you will say you are doing. But driving for 2 hours to go to a company and make stock, you are wasting that 2 hours. Within the space of that 2 hours, you can call and talk to 200 people. So instead of calling or talking to 200 people, you've been busy driving, thinking that you are doing something, whereas you are absolutely doing nothing. If ever in this business you are not talking to anyone about the business on daily basis, whatever else you are doing is just busy work, is not a core of what we should be doing. Learn ordering procedures and policies. Understand how case credits grow your business. That is when you have to understand how to calculate the points. This is key. This is where you have to communicate with your manager, where you communicate with your leader, because you will never run this show alone. This is not a lonely journey. Entrepreneurship is a lonely journey, but once you are here, you have to have somebody who is going to be helping you understand how to calculate the points. That is key, because if ever you don't have somebody helping you to understand the importance of calculating points, you are going nowhere. You'll be selling up until you quit. Visit branches to meet the other distributors and explain the company's culture. It's very important sometimes to go to the company branches, because if ever somebody come in your area with this business and that person is not taking you to the company to go see the company, to go meet the other distributors in Lavita Living Product, then that thing is skeptic. There's a bit of skepticism there, simply because you will never know what is going on up until you reach the company. So it's very important to go to the company branches, meet the other distributors, and see what is happening. Always have stock, sell anytime, anywhere to anyone. That is key. That is also very important. We understand now, if ever you are going around, our people are having this understanding that before they buy something, they have to see it. It is up to us now as leaders, because if you go to a restaurant, they don't give you food to taste so that you can select which one you want. You get a menu, and a menu is a piece of paper with all the foods that is in there. Then you select, and then they give you an order. So this is what you have to do. You send a WhatsApp to a person, the product, and then you explain how the product works to that particular person, and that person is going to be starting placing the orders. That is key. That is very, very, very important. Get 10 to 20 customers in your first month. In your first month, make sure that you have got 10 to 20 customers. I forgot one thing. As an assistant supervisor there, first month, the company says you have got at least 8 people under your name. Direct to you, at least 8 people. But I say have 10 people. Direct. Which means you recruit 10 people your first month, not your first year, your first month. Have 10 people direct that have joined and qualified under your name. That is very important. Then have 10 to 20 customers. That shows to you that in this business, the core of it is to recruit, get people that are willing to do the business as well. As much as you are going to have your customers, but you are preaching one and the same thing, that, guys, this is a platform and this is an opportunity that can help you change your life as well. So if you join, you are going to score points and you are going to get things at a discounted price. And the company is going to be giving volume bonuses in each and every end of the month on the 15th. That is key and very important. Attend OPP trainings to learn the profit plan and the procedures. The OPP training is very key and very important. OPP training is when you are going out to the people that are new. Maybe you meet them in a restaurant, maybe in a conference center, maybe in a boardroom, wherever you meet your acquaintances. Some of them you meet them online. Then you present the opportunity to them. And whoever is going out there doing the presentation, you first start with presenting the opportunity, then the product. Show the people how do you make money, and then thereafter show them the tools and the things that you are selling that helps you in making that money. That is key. You don't start by the product. Start with the plan. Let the people understand the plan. Let the people see how do you make money, and then don't do half of the OPP. When you're doing the OPP, let the people understand how to make money in this business. That is key. That is very important. Use OPP training experiences to introduce new downline. That OPP meeting or that OPP training, that is your special tool. That is your special weapon to introduce new people in your business. So if ever you master the OPP training, if ever you master that training, nobody will stop you. You will be unstoppable. Then, some of the people are shy. Maybe you are in a big conference center. Maybe there is a bigger venue. Make sure that you have got a list of each and everyone that is in there, and then do a one-on-one. Go one-on-one with new downline. Explain in details and inspire their confidence to join. So after the fortune is in the follow-up, after a big event, make sure that you list everybody that you invited there. These people, they don't know this thing. Maybe they don't want it. Maybe they think they don't want it and they want it. How are you going to detect? How are you going to see that these people want this or these people want that? By going one-on-one. You go one-on-one, you call a person, you visit their homes. There are so many ways. It depends how far are you from each other. So one-on-one is very important. That is where you get a core of a living being. And you must understand that the prospect, they always lie. So how do you see lies? If ever a person says, I'm going to think about it, that person is lying. If ever that person says, I don't have time, that person is lying. No one doesn't have time. Even Uhlanye does have time. Everybody has got time. So you mustn't go out there begging, because sometimes people are good in wasting your time. So make sure that you have got two options. It's either yes or a no. There is nothing in between. So if ever you say you are going to think about it, you are doing, that person is doing you a favor, is trying to console you as if you are hurting by them not joining. So make sure that you make them understand that you are fine. You are doing well, by the way. You are here just to give them an opportunity. You are here just to give them this gift that you have, not going out there begging. You don't go begging. Most of the mistake that we are doing as network marketers in this profession, we go out there begging and praying down on our knees, praying people to join us. We have got the gift. We see things that people didn't see. We are so special. We are so spectacular. And the world hasn't seen the best of us. So let us go out there and preach and tell the people this is an opportunity. You can't get everyone to join. Find out why and use the knowledge to improve. Not everybody is going to join. Those people that are not joining, in that statement or in that paper that I always read to people, I say keep a list of 50, and then in that list of 50, some of the people are going to say yes now, and some of the people are not going to say yes now. And then a no now is not a no forever. Make sure that you follow that person up. I always say follow that person up until she tells you that I'm no longer there, I'm dead. That's when you stop. Because it's either they say yes or they are no longer available or they are no longer there. And if ever you don't get a yes now, it doesn't mean that you have to die, you have to quit the business. Always have this attitude in your life. When you go out in the morning, go out and say, I'm going to have 50 no's today. That's your target. I want to have 50 no's today. Go for no. And then immediately when you get a yes, that keeps you motivated, that keeps you going during the course of your day. And then your daily routine is going to be perfect simply because in the evening when you come back, looking at what you've done, you are going to see that, okay, I've got 2 people joining, I've got 2 customers. And then the biggest mistake, blunder that you mustn't do is not to follow those people up. Because some of the people end up not taking you serious simply because you just can present the opportunity to them and then off you go. So that is key. That is very important. As your network grows, you grow as a leader, but how can you become even better? Make sure that you do attend the trainings and then you do master the latest versions of doing the business and the tools that are at our disposal to be able to move faster. Build good relationship with your uplines and your downlines. This is a very difficult part simply because of a so-called jealousy. You have got your sponsor, you join the business, you are now successful, then your sponsor is jealous of you, and then it's going down to your downlines, telling them all sorts of stories. That is the nature of a so-called black person. We are not going anywhere in life simply because instead of clapping hands for each other for our achievement, our individual achievement, we ridicule each other. We destroy each other. So that is how we are wired. But we can work this thing out by making sure that we are working together and we are happy for each and everyone's improvements. Abanye abantu, they even go far as izinto zokuloya nezokuthakatha to make sure that the person does not succeed. Teams that communicate succeed together. So if ever you are a team, if ever you say you are a team, you have to communicate. We have got a team of Banyana Banyana who has just recently won the AFCON. It was through communication and togetherness. So without communication, there is nothing that is going to happen. That is why I always say communication is wealth. If ever you are doing building an organization and then some people are pulling in different direction, that thing won't work. So make sure that you communicate to succeed. Don't babysit your team. Do not babysit your team. You have recruited your aunt, your brother, your sister. Do not babysit them. Do not babysit them. Ask me. I've been around. I've babysitted people. I've been taking people into different places. Free petrol, free everything. Free. When it's time for them to pay, they quit the business. And they start blaming. So don't be a victim of this circumstance. Do not babysit. Be a teacher and let your downlines find their way. Let your team find their way. Don't find a way for them. Let your team find their way. Don't find a way for them. It's their own business. You are here to give them a hand. You are here to help them, not to do things for them. Don't babysit. Do not spoon feed. Do not babysit. Do not spoon feed. If ever you are babysitting your team, when you go away into a different place, they will all quit the business because you've been spoon feeding and babysitting them. That is key. That is a downfall for everybody in this business. Every leader that has been trying to lead through a so-called babysitting has got no team. You have a team simply because you are teaching them to do things. You do not do things on their or for them. Share your experience as a good leader. A great leader speaks confidently. So make sure that each and every time you go out to people, you show your experiences. Everything, when did you join? Why did you join? Those are the experiences that you have to go out and share the people. You were working, and then you saw an opportunity, you joined this business, you're doing it full-time now, you started part-time. Share those experiences with the people that you meet so that they can get confident and they can get a feeling of what you are doing. And remember, your problems, when you share the obstacles that you encountered on your way, some people are encountering the same obstacles and they are willing to quit just because of the same obstacles you've encountered. But the moment you share those obstacles, that's when these people are going to be fired up. That's when these people are going to be motivated to say, hey, I was in the same position as well. How did you go through that problem? How did you go through people that were insulting you? How did you go through people that were all doing sort of things behind your back? How did you find a way? How did you make it? Then you find that the person is motivated and is doing the business. And as a leader, make sure that you understand the core of each and everybody. Sit down with each and everyone over the phone, on video call, on Zoom, or on Facebook. Find out what is it that is hindering them to their success, because there are people that we have left behind simply because the moment they don't want to do what we ask them to do, we just become angry. From today, you will never become angry. As from today, you will never be angry to anyone, because these people, they don't understand. You are here to help them understand. If you see a teacher teaching grade R, what are the kids doing in class? Grade 12, what are the kids doing in class? So you see, this thing is about leadership and it's about coaching. You must be a jack of all trade when you are in this business. But the worst thing that you have to do is to become angry and to think that anger is going to sort problems for you. It's not going to solve any problem for you. Communication and the healthy engagement is going to solve those problems for you. Use experience and leadership skill to teach weaker downlines how to improve. Make sure that you use your experience and leadership. Things that you have gone through is going to motivate your weaker downlines. And don't categorize your team as weak or strong and all that. We have made such mistakes. Everybody is the same, because the moment you use those languages, is going to create a distraction in your business, because some of the people in there are not there for business. They are there for some agendas that you are unaware of. But for you to be aware of those agendas, make sure that you are so close to them. Make yourself the center of your independent network. Make sure that for you to be a center, you can't be in Cape Town, PE, you can't be in Joburg, you can't be everywhere. How are you a center? My center is Team Unstoppable New Evolution and my YouTube channel. That's where you find me. And my group, especially the WhatsApp I'm using now, the groups are all locked. I send in trainings on those groups. That is my center. That's where you find me. We are going to have events in different places. Mostly what I'm going to do now, we are just going to have few events, but the biggest event that we're going to have as Team Unstoppable New Evolution is a so-called Destiny event. I'm going to announce it to each and everyone in this group, and that event is not for Team Unstoppable members only. It's a new evolution. We invite each and everyone willing to be part of an event so that we can grow together. Make yourself a center of your independent network. Okay, become a center. Failure happens anytime. Be prepared with the tools and knowledge to overcome obstacles. Always, the failure, you don't plan failure, it just happens. But be prepared with the tools necessary at your available at your disposal to make sure that you encounter and overcome those obstacles, because you are not failing, but that is a proof that you are doing something. So make sure that you have got the necessary tools and you are using them to make sure that you counteract all the problems and the obstacles that you encounter. Lost a downline, don't let the loss affect your network. Some of the people quit the business for no reason. So if ever they quit, it doesn't mean that you are dead. Some of the people are born today. Some of the people are turning 18 today. So you can always get somebody in a space of that person. But before you do it, find out why is that person quitting. Why is that person no longer willing to do the business? How can you help that person overcome that obstacle as a leader? Simply because as you are a supervisor now, you are in a leadership position. So everybody now has to rely on you. Everybody now has to take you as a role model. They have to look up to you. So we make sure that we iron our activities, we make sure that we do good. And how to motivate your team? To motivate your team is only one thing that you have to do: be successful. Success will make sure that each and everyone follow through. Inspire, lead, regroup, and rebuild. This is very important. Your job is to inspire, is to lead, regroup, and rebuild. We build and rebuild. We build and rebuild. Guys, you have got your big house. You have built your mansion now. After 2 days, you have to sweep the floor. You have to mop and clean the windows. So that's the same thing that applies in this business. You have got people in your business, but there is a so-called maintenance. There is a so-called overhauling of the engine in the car. So make sure that you maintain your team. Keep in touch with them. Don't make, it mustn't be a week long. Each and every day, you know your weak distributors, people that are struggling. Make sure that you are in contact with them. I will urge each and everybody to use WhatsApp and have data always so that we can communicate with you guys, because the break of communication creates problems. Lead by example, lead from the front and involved to bring the team together. Make sure that in this business, you don't lead at the back, you lead from the front. It's you first in things, and then the team do. Because some of the people, they ask people to do things that they are failing to do. So never ever do that mistakes. So how do you make sure that you counteract that? You have got systems in place. How do you know that you have got a system? It works, everybody does it, and then it's easy. It's easy, everybody does it, and it works. That's when you know that you have got a system. Any business, it's a system. Assistant managers, what is your goal? Learning and doing. So now you see there is a difference now. You are an assistant manager. You are learning and doing. A manager continues to learn new tools and new methods while at the same time growing your network. While you're recruiting, while getting other people into business, because as a supervisor, you are still recruiting. As an assistant manager, you are still recruiting. While doing that, you are also learning to make sure that whatever you learn, you unpack it to your team so that your team can grow. So your goal now as an assistant manager, you are learning and doing. And you are making sure that you are continuing to learn tools and new methods and strategies and techniques while at the same time growing your network. So your job now is very complex now, simply because you are also learning, you are also recruiting, but at the same time you have to teach your team. So how do you make this thing easy? By communicating with your manager in the issue of the points, in the issue of bonuses, in the issue of everything. Make sure that your manager is there, because you will never ever reach manager level without a manager assisting you. Point number 1, your network and your team members are never too good for more training. Some of the people, I've been doing trainings in different places. You do a training, it's one and the same thing. This Falcon training is going to be one and the same thing. It's going to be repeated time and again. But a person say, I'm not going to attend now. This is one and the same thing. They are repeating one and the same thing. If ever we are repeating, once you have learned this thing and then you have done everything that is in this training, you are a millionaire. So if ever you say we are repeating and you are still languishing in debt and you still know nothing and you still can't progress in your business, that means you have got a problem. So no one is too good for this training. Never ever say, I'm not going to go there because it's still one and the same thing. That one and the same thing is going to be put in another perspective, or it's going to be explained in a different context, and then you are going to understand it better. And the more you exposed yourself into this training, it's the more you grow, and it's the more you get strength and courage to carry on with your business. Great leaders keep learning and inspire others to learn. As a great leader, you keep learning and you make sure that you inspire each and everyone to learn, not to sell, not to go around selling Tipex one-on-one, not to go around poaching people, not to go around twisting people's arms to join, but to teach them what is it that we are doing. Once they understand what you are doing, they will be not hesitant or or resistance when it's time for them to join. Attend company events together to improve your team's performance and knowledge. So make sure that you take your team to the company. We've been going to Pretoria. We've been going to different places. Make sure that everybody that is in your team goes with you. Like now, we've got a convention where there's no COVID. Each and every year, we've got an international convention. Take your team with you to that convention. If ever we've got trainings in Pretoria, take your team with you into those trainings so that you can grow together. Point number 4, 10 weaknesses into strength through training and practice. Trainings and practices, this business, learning in this business is in the doing. So training is going to make sure that it gives you strength and it does away with your weaknesses, because you are not weak. It's just that there is something that you understand. There is something that you did, you thought you understand it, but you didn't understood it. So that is very important. Turn your weaknesses into strength through training and practices. Good people, strong leaders, build great teams. So once you have got good people and then you are a strong leader, you are going to build a great team. No one person in a team is perfect, but good management can create a perfect team. I'm not perfect. You are not perfect. Not even a single one of us is perfect. But a good management can create a perfect team. But if ever we share ideas, if ever when problem arises, we come together online and then we share those ideas, we talk to each other in a perfect and amicable way, we are going to create a conducive environment for everyone to succeed in what we are doing. So that is very key. That is very important. Point number 7, guide your downlines towards creating their independent network. So as you have got your team is growing, everybody is going out in different places. They are recruiting. They are building their team. You are as an assistant manager, your job is to guide them, guide your team, guide your downlines to create this is very important, because you find that some of the people, they join the business, they come to the training once or twice, they think they understand, and they go around, they do things wrong, they do things wrong in a wrong way around. Do you know how to fill an ATP form? Do you know how to fill a distributor application form? Do you know what is a C5 form? Do you know what is a C5B form? Do you know what is an A3? So those are the things that you have to make sure that you help your team with, because some of the people will be buying online and they are getting the ATP. An ATP is a form that is used to make a person qualify as a new independent distributor. So that ATP form is very important. Does your downline know what is the use of that ATP form? Can they fill that ATP form on their own? Are they able to count the points for their distributors? Because once you have got a license and then you have got a person joining under you, when they are starting with 500, maybe they are starting to buy the product for 1,000 rand, you have to start counting points for them up until they reach 200. Once they reach 200, the computer will print an ATP form to prove that a person has qualified. Do you know how to fill those forms? So that is very important. That is why, as an assistant manager, it's very important to guide your downlines to make sure. So if ever now you take a look, it means this thing, for it to work, we have to be a well-oiled machine. There should be a communication between the assistant supervisor, assistant manager, and a manager. Let's go to the last point. Manager. A goal of a manager. What is it that is required from the manager? Doing and teaching. Managing and growing your network while teaching those in your network to do the same thing. As a manager, your job now is to make sure that you are doing and you are teaching. While you are doing this thing, you are also recruiting, you are also growing your network. While doing that, your job now is to teach. You are officially deployed by the company to teach the model of success, to teach the Falcon training. That is why you are given a certificate and you are given time to go into the branches for free for 2 hours, to take your downline to the office and teach them that you book. If ever you want to use any branch in South Africa of La Vita Living product, you are free to do so as a manager. You just phone the company, you make your booking, and make sure that you honor your booking. If ever you said Tuesday 12 o'clock be there for 2 hours, and then you are done with your presentation. So that is very, very important. The core of every network has got at least 5 capable manager line. So in any business, in any network marketing business, you must have 5 capable leaders. That is why I say have 10. So once you have got 10 lines direct, and make sure that you have got 5 capable leaders. Once you have got 5 people that are exactly the same as you are, that are willing to build and grow their businesses, you are a millionaire. True independence is managing and leading your network without company guidance. When you are independent, be like us. We are Team Unstoppable simply because we had a training and then we mastered the plan. We've been unpacking it to the people in a very good way. The wrong thing that we've been doing is to spoon feed. The wrong thing that we've been doing is to babysit. So that is why now some of the people are so worried the fact that we are not longer coming to them. We are no longer renting in different places to be close to the people. We are centered in one particular place. So this business now, this way of doing things, this Falcon 2.0, in a comfort of your home. You don't need to go out and rent a place somewhere to be close to somebody. Everybody is within your reach simply because we do have our smartphone. We do have our cellular phones with us where we can communicate with each and everybody we want to communicate with. Start your own training events, create your team culture, and find your voice as the leader. Team Unstoppable New Evolution, we have got our team culture, we do have our events, and then we've got our city-to-city campaign. So what is that? This is our culture. We've been traveling. We are going to travel. This year, we are going to travel locally. Maybe next year, we are going to go internationally, Dubai, Mauritius, and different places, to take the business out of our shores and make sure that we are recognized globally. Obviously, we are now recognized globally simply because of the digital platforms, but we have to go and present this opportunity to the people that we meet online. That is very key. A leader's behavior shows their team and the world what kind of a leader they are. So, what I always say, make sure that you understand that when you open your mouth, the moment you speak, you are telling the world who you are. So as a leader, your behavior shows your team and the world what kind of a leader you are. So we are all new in this leadership thing. We've been thinking that we were doing things in a right way. Now we understand that there were things that we were thinking were doing right, and those things were not right. Doing things for the people, babysitting people, spoon-feeding people, doing shortcuts and here and there. Those are the things that we've been doing, thinking that we are doing the right thing. Now we understand that that was not the right thing. We have to do the right thing now. Now you understand that so-and-so was not doing the right thing. Do the right thing now, because you know. Falcon 2.0 is the only way, is the only solution, is the only way to go. Whoever is against this online platform, whoever says is good is going to come and help you. If ever you still rely on somebody who is coming to help you with presentation, I want to tell you one thing, just stop doing La Vita Living products. Go do something else. Go find something else, because that particular person is going to get tired of coming and help you and spoon-feeding you. And then when he's no longer there, you are dead already. You are back to zero. So fight hard to be able to stand on your own now. A network might be independent, but they do not operate alone. Yes, the networks, your network, my network, her network, his network, their network, they may be independent, but they do not operate alone. We are all connected. That is why there is nothing called a sideline. A sideline, that is nonsense. That is from the other people that are talking things that are not existing. A sideline is somebody who is doing Avon. That is a sideline. But if ever you are in La Vita, we are all doing one and the same thing. That is why in my events and in my trainings, I invite each and everyone that is willing to get something out of me, because I know that I'm capable to relay a message to different people, but it's up to them to take it and use it to their benefit. Work together with the other network upline managers, new downline managers, and the company to improve everyone. That's it. I've just said it. This is a message from La Vita Living Product. This is a message from the company. The company says we have to work together with other network upline managers, new downline managers, and the company to improve everyone. There are people that are out there poaching and slaughtering people, and they don't go even to training, and they always talk negative about the other people. Once you find a leader, I want to tell you now, if you find anyone that says he's a manager or he's a golden manager, Pearl, Emerald, or whatever, the moment they start talking bad about someone, that's not a leader. That is a monkey. That is not a leader. That is a baboon. You must know. And that is the first sign that you must see. Once a person, I'm a victim of that as well. But how am I a victim of that? I'm a victim of that because I've seen tears. I've seen people that have been doing the business without their business license for some time. Those are the mistakes that some of our leaders have done. The mistakes are done. Now it's time to rebuild. Now it's time to do this thing the right way. So once you find somebody and that person is busy poaching and talking bad about, it's like you have got a team, and then in your team you have got the people that you are talking to with the other names of the other people, then you are not a leader. And that is the sign that have to tell you that this is not a perfect person. The best thing for you to understand, you must understand your Falcon 2.0 and make sure that you are able to do things on your own without the help of anyone. Be an independent distributor like the company says. You have got your LVLP independent distributor card. That means you are going to stand on your own, because some of the person are jealousy, some of the people have got bad heart, some of the people have got anger, and they don't want to see anyone succeed. So to run away from those things, make sure that you master the plan and you are able to run the show on your own. Then the last point, reaching manager level is just the beginning. So I said the first level, you are a distributor. You have said yes to an opportunity, but you have never started to buy the product. The moment you qualify as an assistant supervisor by buying a combination pack and accumulating at 200 points, you become an AS. That is the first level. The second level is supervisor level, where you have got 2,000 points, and then you have got assistant manager level, where you have got 5,000 points, and then you have got manager level where you have got 10,000 points, and then you qualify as a manager. So they say manager level is just another level beginning. It's just another level beginning because it's manager level. The next level is golden manager, pearl manager, emerald manager, ruby manager, and diamond manager. So that is the last level in La Vita Living Products. Okay, now one is wondering, as per level, what is expected out of you as an AS? In your first month, you are an assistant supervisor. You are expected to have 8 people under your name. 2 to 3 months, you must be a supervisor, and in your team, you are expected to have 20 people. Assistant manager level, space of 4 months, you are expected to have 40 people in your team, not direct to you, in your team. As a manager, 5 to 6 months, you are expected to have 60 people in your team. So that is the expectation that that is the line that you have. So Once you are an AS and then you have got one person, you recruited one person, and you think that you are going to change the level, it's impossible. The company says, the owner of this company says, have 8. In your first month, have 8 people joined and qualified. They've qualified, they've made their 200 point as an AS in your first month. The Falcon Way. Participation is learning. If you participate, if you take part in whatever you are in pursuit of, you are learning. Speak, listen, work hard, and get involved. Speak to your downlines, listen to them, and work hard and get involved. Make sure that you are the part of their problems. Give them solutions to their problem. Experience teaches us all valuable lessons. Things that you've gone through are the lessons. You are stronger than before. There is a guy who built a globe. He failed 2,000 times. 2001, the globe started glowing up until today. What that guy understood is that he didn't fail. In those 2,000 times that were not successful, those were the learning curves. He understands 2,000 reasons that makes the globe not to glow. So whatever you have gone through, whatever difficult that you face, understand that you are stronger than somebody who hasn't encountered those problems. Commitment leads to confidence. Once you are committed in something that you are doing, it's going to create confidence. And then confidence is going to bring a so-called result. And then once you get the result, you will become more confident. And then you will end up, you see some people that are celebrities, people that have got money, they hardly sleep. Simply because they are so motivated, they are so into what they are doing. Why they are so into it is because of the commitment that they've made that led to a confidence. And then when the moment they become confident in what they are doing, they saw results coming there when they kept on pushing. And then when they keep on pushing, there is more and more and more coming. Many small failures can lead to one big success. Whatever problems that you have encountered on the way, those are the ingredients for a greater breakthrough, for a greater success. Time is not limitless. Use it wisely to learn, to teach, to succeed. Time is not limited. You are limited because in no time God is going to remember you. But use it wisely, learn to teach and succeed. Make sure that you use your time in a profitable way. Some people are sitting around during the day talking about other people. At the end of the day, what do they have? Nothing. Tomorrow, what do they have? Nothing. A week, a month, nothing. But the moment you use your time, because that is a precious commodity for each and everyone. Everybody does have time. It depends on how do you use it. And then that is where you have to differentiate between being busy and being productive. Because some of the people, if you go to them, they say, we've been doing this thing. We started it 2007. We know Lavita. We know. They were busy. They were not productive. So you have to differentiate between being busy and being productive. Success is made by doing what you must do, not what you want to do. If you are in business and think that because it's your own business, you are going to sleep and wake up at 12 o'clock. You are going to do it when you feel like doing it and then hope for success. Go look for something else. Some people are quitting this business, talking all sort of stories, this is a business of attrition. We are not worried. We are not concerned because we understand that we are special. We were able to see an opportunity to something that nobody saw an opportunity in. So We are not moved by people that are quitting the business, jumping ship, going to the businesses that are in the momentum, because some people are quitting the business because they've seen something else new in the market and then they go for it. 3 months or 3 years down the line is dead and buried. We've been in existence for 27 years now, when we have got still a long way to grow, where there is more upside. So for those that are willing to be the part of this business, the only solution for you is to learn, is to understand, and to follow this Falcon 2.0. Success is made by doing what you must do, not what you want to do. So if ever you want to do things your way, not in La Vita Living Product, simply because La Vita Living Product have got a plan that we have to follow. So if ever you are doing it your way, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a disaster. You will never see anything. There will be no positivity, nothing. There will be no growth, nothing. You will be doing it up until you die without any achievement. You are spectacular. You are intelligent. You are so amazing. As Team Unstoppable New Evolution, we wish you all the best. And the world hasn't seen the best of you. Now let's go out there and tell the world who we are. I thank you.